What is going on, everyone? It's Nero again, and here for you some Call of Duty Black Ops 2 playing some Domination. This time on the map Nuketown 2025 using the default M27 class. This is right after I hit 2nd Prestige. Therefore, I'm using default score streaks. I'm using the default class. I'm level 1 in this video. And I wanted to make this video discussing with you guys how to do well on Nuketown. I saw a comment on yesterday's video saying, can you make a, kind of like tutorial almost, kind of helping us out on Nuketown 2025, how to maximize double XP and just how to do well. Because during double XP weekends, they always bring back Nuketown 2025 as its own playlist. In this playlist, they have Domination, Search and Destroy, Hardpoint, Demolition, pretty much every game mode only on Nuketown. And the reason people love this playlist so much is because Nuketown is such a cluster, it's so fast paced and there's so much action that even a subpar player can drop 50 kills on average on this map. It's just how the map works, especially on game modes that kind of take a long time, like Hardpoint. Any player can get 50 kills in Hardpoint. It's just a great way to level up. It's a great way to have fun with the map, and it's really good for double XP. Oh, and one more note, I'm actually experimenting with a different color correction for this video. If you guys let me know how you think the quality of this video is. Every day, I try to improve my commentary, I try to improve my quality a little bit in any way, shape, or form, and I think this new color correction actually looks really good, so let me know about that. So Nuketown 2025. Nuketown itself is a map that I've invested a lot of time on. I've invested a ton of time on. Black Ops 1. I've probably put more time on Nuketown alone than most people have in Black Ops 1 combined. It's just a map that I'm very familiar with. And to do well on Nuketown, I don't want to say you should camp on Nuketown, but you should camp on Nuketown. Right? So Nuketown's a map that is just so clustered. There's so many people coming from so many different directions. And the key to doing well on a map like this, or even an older Call of Duty, like a map like Rust, or a map like Shipment, Firing Range even, which is going to be coming out in the Studio DLC. That's going to be kind of neat. To do well on maps like that, you have to predict where the enemy is going to be coming from. You always have to have an idea of where they're coming from, and if you do have this idea, you always have to put yourself in a position of advantage. Like you saw at the very beginning of the video, I was basically head poking that car the entire time. Then I ran out of ammo, and I'm like, oh no, what do I do? So now I'm like, right for a while now, I'm going to be fighting and trying to find a gun, trying to find ammunition. I find this scar on the ground, but it's only got 30 rounds in it. But like I said, you try and predict the traffic patterns. Like typically when we play Domination, especially in Ground War, you'll see that we run what we call Blitzkrieg. And with Blitzkrieg, you just continuously keep rushing them, continuously keep taking all the flags, and we just try and tri-cap them the entire match. That's just kind of how we play Ground War Domination. But I found in 6v6 Domination, that's not exactly necessary. You don't need to be running constantly at their flags. You can kind of sit back and you can kind of predict where they're going to be coming from and kind of trap them a little bit, if you will, kind of spawn trap. Although spawn trapping in Call of Duty is not necessarily as easy or as beneficial as it was in previous CODs, when you play on Nuketown, it's the exact same spawn system as in Black Ops 1. Therefore, you can still kind of do this little spawn trap idea. So what I do throughout this video is I kind of stayed towards the car, I kind of stayed towards the middle of the map area, because right now, as long as we don't push into their building, they'll constantly spawn at the C flag. That's kind of how the map works. They'll constantly spawn at C, unless we start moving into their building. If we start moving into their building, they'll start taking other random spawn points. These spawn points could be back towards the A flag. These spawn points could be more towards the middle, where I was at by camping by that car, or what I like to call is a Jeep, because in Black Ops 1 it was a Jeep instead of the water car. They can spawn right there. They'll spawn over by the A garage, the garage right next to the A building, or as I call it, the blue building, although it's not so blue. It's actually funny. So the building I'm right next to right now, the C building, was actually yellow in Black Ops 1. Therefore, I still have this idea in my head. I still use as a call. I call it the yellow building. The building towards the A flag in Black Ops 1 was like a bluish green. It was almost the teal. And so I always called that the blue building. So if I thought this video called the blue building, now you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the A building. But yeah, they'll spawn there in the garage. Sometimes they'll spawn right next to the B flag. Basically, this map, it's creepy with the way they spawn. They can be anywhere. But the thing is, if you know the spawn points, if you understand where the possibilities of them coming from you are from, that was horribly worded. Yeah, if you have an idea of where they're coming from, then you're in the best position possible to take these people out. Throughout this video, I actually go flawless. And like I said, I'm using the preset M27 class, finding a bunch of guns on the ground. And I'm using default score streaks. Yet, I think I'm 41-0 throughout the entirety of this video. It's just because I know where people are coming from. And I'm always in a position of advantage on the enemy. That's definitely a key factor when you're playing on Nuketown, regardless of game mode. If you're playing hardpoint, if you set yourself up when you have an idea of where they're coming from, you're going to do a little bit better. Granted, hardpoint's a little bit more unpredictable than domination in terms of the spawn points, but that's something you can do. As you can see, we captured the C flag right here. Instead of helping my team Cat B, I'm being kind of a different kind of objective player and getting my Dragonfire out here because I don't want to overlap my Dragonfires. And now, what I mean by overlapping is basically if you overlap your score streaks, then you're going to lose them. So I was getting close to my second Dragonfire. I figured, hey, I'm going to pull out the Dragonfire here, and I'm just going to run through and try and kill them off as they spawn, because that's how Nuketown works, is you can kind of kill people as they spawn, especially with air support. Right now, they're all spawning in the backyard of A, and you can see the building itself isn't blue. Yeah, I call it the blue building. It's actually orange. But yeah, they spawned there in the backyard, and while they were spawning there in the backyard, my team goes up and they try and trap them up as we capture the B flag. That's just, there's different ways of playing the objective, right? I had this argument with my brother, and it's like an extended argument. He was explaining like, oh, no, the reason I did so bad is because I was constantly diving on the objective. That I'm an objective player, that's what I do. And I'm sitting here trying to explain to him, trying to get through his head, like, there's different kinds of objective play. Not necessarily do you need to just dive on the flag like meat, but necessarily you can kind of play a little bit smarter and get the flag that way. And right here, I rush the A flags. I want to get the A flag and get them back at C, but I get quickly overwhelmed until the lightning strike comes in and saves me. We had lightning strike come in. I was calling out to my teammates, like, help me now, I'm back at the A flag, I'm surrounded. And then all of a sudden, they drop the lightning strike and the AJR comes in and just kind of cleans house for us, and that was really nice. And I get my second Dragonfire here. See, that's what I was talking about. Don't overlap your score streaks. That's another thing that you can do to try and rank up quickly here in double XP, is to make sure you're getting the most out of everything you're using. You know, UAVs, counter UAVs. That's kind of score streaks I like to run. I like to run the support score streaks for the most part, because if you do that, then you're helping out your team, you're helping out yourself. Not only do you gain more score, if you're worried about your score per minute, UAVs and counter UAVs and VSATs, they can definitely help out your score and your score per minute, but it also helps you yourself, because if you have an idea of where they're at, if you notice throughout this video, we have almost unlimited UAVs up the entire game. I don't think we have one up right now, but for the most part throughout this game, we're going to have UAVs, and it definitely helps out a lot. And if you have these UAVs, and I give this tip a lot, but not a lot of people I think take it to heart, pay attention. Call of Duty, you can learn everything you need to know about Call of Duty just by watching the minimap. When you have a UAV up, that's how you learn the spawn system. You have a UAV up, you can tell where they're coming from, you can tell where they frequently come from, and if they're frequently coming from one area, generally that's a main spawn point. That's a spawn point where they're going to continuously put the other team, and if you have that kind of thing going on, it's definitely going to help you out. But basically the point of this video is, if you're playing on Nuketown, you can use, favorite this video if you want, you need to go back to it, make a point of reference with it. But when you're playing on Nuketown, during any of the double XP weekends, or actually Nuketown 2025 is actually included in the standard playlist now. If you were to search like standard domination, you'll find Nuketown. If you were to search standard demolition or hardpoint, you'll find Nuketown. If you ever want to do well on Nuketown, there's two kind of ways to play on it, right? There's, I'm gonna say solo to you and 2 friends, like you, it's either you by yourself or you with 2 friends, or there's you and 3 friends, right? If you're playing with solo with you and 2 friends, then if that's the case, just run wild, just run buck wild and take all the flags. The randoms aren't going to help you trap them in, they're not going to help you have the kind of game I had right now, because I'm playing with a full party of subs, and it was a little bit easier. We kind of trapped them a little bit, always had an idea of where they're coming from. But if you're playing solo, don't do that. But if you're playing with friends, I'm going to say you and 3 friends, you have at least a minimum party of 4 playing on Nuketown, do what we did. Play smart. Take the power points of the map. Take the Jeep, take the moving truck, take all that kind of stuff. Take the B flag, the head pokes by the B flag, and just keep an eye on where they're spawning and make sure they don't spawn behind you. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Hope you guys found this video informative. Hopefully you can play a little bit better on Nuketown. Those of you who are looking to do a little bit better here on Nuketown to kind of maximize your double XP, or just, you know, now that it's in the standard playlist, maybe even do better on Nuketown in general. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please don't leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. Remember, any kind of rating helps, and we're actually on pace. We're actually on pace again to break my monthly like record again for the 2nd month in a row. So I hope you guys all enjoyed, and hope you guys all have a wonderful day.